Netmarble. Why are you so goddamn amazing? What's up, Tokos? It's Trent, aka TradeMark. The 1.5 patch notes came out, and I freaking love Netmarble. I just do. It's so refreshing to be playing a game from a company that you can literally tell that you can tell is listening and taking direct feedback from the community. Let me talk about this a couple things. They didn't bring back, ranked 2v2 is still going away, but my main issue with taking away ranked 2v2 is that it decentivized 2 versus 2, and it decentivized guilds. So one huge improvement that they're making is they're introducing guild co-op missions. So you see right here, guild co-op missions, basically you work together with your guild members to complete objectives. And as you complete those objectives, you unlock stages that basically earn rewards for your entire guild. Now, based upon this right here, the co-op mission, destroy enemy turrets or shield generators, it's hard to tell if these co-op missions are going to be, if you're going to earn them in 1 versus 1 or 2 versus 2 or both, because it's kind of ambiguous right here. Destroy enemy turrets or shield generators. So it could be that you have to play individually 1 versus 1 and destroy your 1 versus 1 opponent's turrets, and then you get added to the guild's total. That would really suck, because that's still, basically it's still individual play. It's just combining 1 versus 1 achievements together as a guild. Hopefully, for example, for this mission, destroy enemy turrets, hopefully you could play 1 versus 1, or you could play 2 versus 2. And no matter what you play, if you destroy the enemy turrets, your totals get added to the guild co-op mission. If that's the case, then great. Basically, you'd still have incentives to play 2 versus 2, and you'd also have incentives to play 1 versus 1, different incentives. And if you can play both to accomplish these co-op missions, then obviously 1 versus 1 is still going to have the advantage of increasing your rank and earning better season end rewards, and also getting bonus crystals and whatnot. But this is huge. I mean, that's really big, because not only does it make it, well, I'll show you why. Right here, member reward stage. Look at these rewards here. So there's 10 stages that your guild can go through. They haven't said how difficult these stages are going to be to accomplish. So I don't know. Obviously, if it's equal for the same, if it's equal for all guilds, then having a guild that's got 50 members in it is going to be 50 active members. Is going to be much easier to complete the stages. But look at the rewards for this. Okay. Stage 10 is a card pack with 165 commons, 5 epics, 1 unique, and 2 legendaries. Guys, 2 legendaries. That's definitely on par with a diamond pack. Okay, so your whole guild is going to basically be able to earn a diamond pack every week. I'm not sure exactly where that falls, but that's pretty comparable to a diamond pack. Next of all, card donation. Another suggestion hugely requested by the community, card donation. Now you're going to be able to donate cards. Another thing that you're going to be able to do and have an incentive to be in a guild. So previously, the only reason to be in a guild was to play 2 versus 2 pre-mates with your guild mates. Now you're going to have pre-mates, you're going to have card donations, and you're going to have the co-op missions. Pretty awesome thing. You do get credits for donating. You can request cards. You can only request commons and rares. I can kind of understand their thinking there. I would have liked to see epic donations, because I don't know. I don't think epics are that huge. or that big of a deal. But maybe in the future. Right now, you can donate commons and rares. And then basically you have a donation limit on how many you can donate. Hopefully, I really hope that for this donation limit that you're able to like have a slider bar. It's so annoying to try and buy cards from the shop and just click one at a time. I hope you don't have to donate one card at a time. I hope you can select like a slider on how many you want to donate to someone. But yeah, there's a daily donation level. Next of all, they already introduced this. I already talked about this, but they're going to be splitting factions up into ratings and levels. One interesting thing that I read that I wish I would have known before now, or I would have played today, is that where does it say it? Let's see. Okay, so the side which has a higher is leveled higher will receive the exact same number of points. So basically, what I think it's saying is your current rating is going to go to your strongest faction. So I haven't played like hardly any games this season. I think I'm only like 5,700 or so rating. I'm going to get a 5,700 rating on probably on Rebels. I think my cards might be a little bit higher level on Rebels. Maybe Empire. I'm not sure. My cards are pretty much equal on each faction. But whatever my stronger faction is, I think I'm going to get 5,700 rating. And then you're going to get a percentage basically of your rating points based upon how close your other faction is. So that could be bad news if you haven't been grinding this season. If you're right at like 5,600 and you haven't played a game, if you're Kyber and you haven't played a game all season, and you have one of your factions that is extremely underleveled, you're probably going to get a 5,600 rating on your main faction, and then you're going to get quite a lower rating. I'm not sure how big the scaling is going to be, but you're going to get a different rating, different level for your factions. So, hasn't said any of the exact points. Oh no, it does have here. Level 1, 10 points. I think, let me double check that on here. I don't remember. I think this is lower amount. So I think you should have a pretty similar level on your strong faction as you did previously. Ranked normal match separation, that was already talked about. That's removing the 2v2 ranks. Replay system added. So they talked a little bit about the replay system here. This is one of my big gripes with the update, and I'll tell you why. So in your battle log, so you already have the battle log that you can see your previous games. Now you're going to be able to go in to your battle logs and replay your games. Here's my huge problem with this. We organized and just finished our very first community 1v1 tournament, and those battles take place in 1v1 friendly matches. Now your 1v1 friendly matches currently don't appear in your battle log. They might post update, but they currently don't. So my concern is that if you go into your battle log, if friendlies are not shown, we're not going to be able to spectate or replay, grab the replays from future tournaments. And we plan on doing a lot of them. So that's a little unfortunate. That's only going to apply to a very small portion of the community, a very small portion of the player base. But if any of you are on the Force Arena subreddit or in the Force Arena Discord, I'll post links in the description. But that's where we usually organize and create these tournaments, and it's unfortunate if we're not going to be able to do these replays. So, again, Netmarble, if you're listening, I just shouted you guys out for paying attention to the community. We would love the ability to replay battles that are that are friendly battles, whether they're 1v1 or 2v2. The replay UI looks cool. You can control the camera, you can control the speed, you can check the scores, everything pretty much that I wanted. I don't know how seamless it's going to be to use, but that's pretty standard for a replay system. There's going to be special packs added. I'm not sure It says can be earned up to 4 times per account. So I'm not sure if they're just giving away these special packs just for this update. But it sounds like you're going to be able to earn 4 of these special packs, 4 free legendary cards. Again, Netmarble just loves us, guys. They're like Oprah in this bitch. You have a leader. You have a leader. You have a legendary. Special packs. Legendaries for all. Changes in minimap and resurrection timer, just some quality of life changes. Also, they're resizing the map. This will be interesting. I'm not sure how big of an effect it's going to play. They're going to basically scrunch up the map just a little bit more, make things a little more intense in 1 vs. 1. Card category. Oh my goodness. Again, I mean, how many times I've talked about this in so many videos that we need subcategories for units so that we can know what abilities apply to which units and so. So now they have 3 categories of units: organic, tech, and structure. Now abilities say what they apply to. So, for example, Cassian now only applies to organic range units. I guess since we're talking about card balancing, I'll go ahead and talk about this as we kind of go along. But they added 4 new units, and I'm going to talk about those last. But basically, now you're going to know what cards are affected by what other cards. So great change again. Let's get into the card balancing. Captain Cassian, Captain Asian Andor. There's a lot. If you're a Cassian main, you love him. If you don't play Cassian, you hate him. Because he's annoying as shit, and he sits back and just pew, 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 pew with his little sniper. So his range is going down just a bit, mostly because of the map size, and his special is only going to apply to organic range units. That's really important because one of the most annoying things about Cassian is that his tanks lock on at an additional range. Now they will no longer do that. So his tanks lock on at like ATST range, and now they will no longer do that because it's only organic range units. So Pathfinders are still going to get the bonus. Rebel Grenadier, Rebel Troopers. I mean, a lot of units are still going to get it. Gregorian Rebel, Gigaran Rebel, sorry. Cassian still going to be strong, but that is important, I feel like, and it's a slight nerf. So tanks are not going to slight nerf on his range, slight nerf for tanks on him. Bodhi, deployed structures and tech units. So I'm not sure what units are tech units, but basically it's just listing out all these. So Leia only applies to organic units. So again, her speed is only going to apply to organic. Bodhi's only going to apply to deployed structure and tech. Jin's only going to apply to organic. So that was another big change. Jin her bonus damage used to apply to tanks, which was huge. Now Jin's only going to passive. It's only going to apply to organic ranged. She's still very strong, don't get me wrong. But same thing with Ezra. Same thing with Ben. So he converts organic enemies. I'm not sure about light vehicle. I'm guessing light vehicle is not an organic enemy. So that's a pretty big nerf because Ben's not going to be able to convert light vehicle, which is the main value conversion. But his energy is decreased to kind of compensate for that. So you're still going to be able to steal, I imagine, dewbacks and bladesmen. And so there's still a lot of cool stuff that you're going to be able to steal with Ben. I think lowering the energy cost is going to make him more valuable because he was a really risky card at 8 energy, and now he's a much less risky card at 6. But you don't have the light vehicle still, so I guess it's 6s. Anyways, K2, again, now Chewie and K2 are only going to taunt organic enemies. Same with POW, same with stun, same with hyperadrenal. So these are some interesting things. Stuns are no longer going to affect non-organic enemies. So they're not going to affect things like G and K. They're not going to affect things tanks. They already didn't affect tanks. Hyperadrenal, though, used to affect tanks. It used to affect G and K. It's not going to help those anymore. Target of his special ability is organic units. So again, Darth Vader can't do things like pull G and K. Thrawn can no longer speed up his ATSTs. So a lot of interesting changes. This is really going to be these divisions, these subcategories. Not only are they identifying them, it's going to change a lot of how the cards interact with each other and how abilities interact with each other. Really necessary change, but anyways, yeah. It looks like Death Squad leader is in getting a increase for his units, and his summon time has been increased a little bit. Now, I believe that his Death Troopers are going to be the new Death Troopers and not the old ones, because the old ones were kind of weak, and the stats on the new ones look interesting. I'm not positive on that, but my guess is that I don't feel like Death Squad leader was too overpowered, so if they're bumping up the energy cost and the summon time, my guess is that he's going to be spawning in stronger Death Troopers, probably the new ones, which are most similar. The new Death Troopers are more similar in comparison to like Rebel Pathfinders. Nerve Gas, Dioxys, same thing, organic. Unique card changes. This is a pretty big change right here. Stat changes on leaders are 10% per level, and the rest of the cards are 6%. Now uniques are also going to get the leader bonus, so they're going to get 10% per level. So if you have a level, level 3 unique right now, he's basically going to get an 8% bonus on, 8% bonus after the update. 4% per level. Other changes. 2 versus 2 normal matches will automatically adjust all players. So these are the same levels as friendlies, I believe, except for I thought uniques were level 2 in friendlies, maybe not. So 2 versus 2 is now the same as basically friendlies. Matchmaking elo improved. You have to play. Contexts of free play packs have been modified. So I'm a little concerned about this. I was concerned about it last time. Last time they said they have been modified. Anytime I hear the word modified and they don't give the details, I always assume it's a nerf. Maybe that's just, being used to being screwed by a lot of gaming developers. But it's like you hear, oh, we've adjusted this value. It's usually not in favor of the players. But last time I said this, they actually improved free packs and play packs. So maybe they improved them again. I don't know. We'll have to see. Tutorials modified. Cards now have an indicator saying blah, blah, blah. Conditions of submissions changed. Card information changed. Editing system has been improved. Cool. A bunch of quality of life improvements, it looks like. And improved rating points gained lost. So that's the balance changes. Let's go back up to the top 4, the new 4 cards that have been added to the game. And let's talk about them a little bit. 4 new cards, 2 Rebel, 2 Empire. If you guys remember me talking in a previous video, I said that what it seems like they're trying to accomplish is have a card that is similar on each faction that can fill a similar role or objective when you play. And there were a few missing spots, a few gaps in there, and it looks like they're filling those in. So for example, they've released the Rebel Demolitionist, who's closest in comparison to Rocket Stormtrooper. She attacks a little faster. I think she walks a little slower, but pretty comparable. Karidian Partisan there's not a good comparison. What, buddy? Okay. Okay, go plug it in again. Daddy's recording something. Then I'll be right up, okay? And then I'll be right upstairs, okay? Hey! When your tablet dies, you gotta run and cry to Dad. That's the way of life. Dead tablets are not good news. So Karidian? I don't know how to pronounce this at all. Partisan. Anyways, he seems to be, he's kind of in the middle. So the best comparable Empire unit is like Dewback, except for this guy is ranged, so he's not like Dewback. And he's not nearly as tanky as Dewback either. So I feel like he's kind of like a tankier rebel grenadier. He can hit 4 enemies, bounces. So he throws his boomerang, it bounces off 4 enemies per attack. So he's not going to hit huge groups. He'll hit 4 enemies. He's a little bit tankier than Grenadier. He's going to be able to survive probably some attacks that Grenadier does not. Maybe like, so he's going to be able to survive like TIE Fighter and stuff like that. I'm not sure if his health is high enough to survive TIE Bomber. That would be interesting to know. But ranged AoE unit has pretty decent stats, a little higher cost than Grenadier. So again, that's why I say like Dewback, comparable role there. Galactic Empire here has a TX-225 assault tank. So this is a very interesting unit because it fits. This is, I mean, a lot of people are going to compare it to the Rebel light tank, which it kind of is, but it's a lot different in that it's actually closer to like the ATST. And what I mean by that, it's a lot slower than the tank. It's a 1.2 movement speed, which is like almost as slow as the ATST. And it has attack range of the ATST. So it's basically an ATST which also attacks units, okay, with a little bit less health than an ATST and much higher building attack DPS. So interesting unit. I'm going to run it, definitely, because I feel like ATST at 7 energy can be a very difficult play. This is going to be 6. It's going to allow you to do a little more, a little faster protection of it. The other nice thing is that sometimes you actually don't want your ATST to cross. Sometimes you want to be able for it to attack units. This can technically serve as kind of, it's got much lower DPS for against units, 220 damage per shot. It's going to be taking out the small units, not any of the big ones. It might not even take out some of the small units, to be honest. I'm not sure of the scaling there. But yeah, interesting unit. Very interesting. Is a little unfortunate because the comparison to the ATST is supposed to be the Bantha, and I just don't like the Bantha. So I would kind of like to see something like the Bantha for higher energy that's at a further range for the Rebels. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud here. And finally, Death Troopers. So again, this is the thing about Death Troopers is they actually have a lot less health than Pathfinders. I said they were most comparable to Pathfinders. They have a little higher DPS than Pathfinders. But here's the cool thing. 3.1 movement speed. That's very fast. So I feel like they're going to kind of be your, if you were to drop anything that can tank turret, because they have such high DPS and speed, you basically drop the tank, drop them behind it, and they're going to be able to lock onto turret really fast because they have 7 range, good DPS. They're just going to get in there and start chunking out that turret really fast. Also, I think their health is just enough to survive maybe like a Grenadier attack. Maybe not. We'll have to see. Because Pathfinders do survive a lot of stuff. Pathfinders survive TIE Fighter. Pathfinders survive like Dioxis. Pathfinders survive a Sand Trooper shot. So it'll be interesting to see what Death Troopers survive. And that's it. So those are the 4 new cards. I still feel like there are, even if there's no rewards for a ladder, I feel like having even just a casual ladder so people can see how they stack up in 2v2 would be nice. I still feel like there could be some incentives to 2v2, even if they're different incentives than 1v1, even if it's a different system, a different, it's not earning the same type of points for Kyber and whatever. I still think there's some cool things or some things that they could do for that. But overall, I'm thoroughly impressed with these patch notes. The update is launching right now. I don't think it's done yet. Let me just check real fast. But overall, I'm really impressed with everything that we see here. And I mean, like I said, it's incredible to feel like, yeah, so maintenance is going to last 4 hours. It's incredible to feel like the developers are listening. I mean, they obviously have their reasoning for doing certain things, and they have a lot more data and information than we have access to, as the general public. And so they have both their short-term vision, which we can see, like we can see in these updates and whatever, and then they have their long-term vision, which we can't see, which is based upon a lot of things and a lot of, the game leads and the development leads are going to have that long vision that we don't see. So, but from what I can tell, they're a genuinely really high-quality company, and I really, really hope that this game continues to grow, because it really is such an amazing game. I love it, and I really like these developers. So let me know what you guys think. I have seen some split thoughts about the update. A lot of people still want some things related to 2v2, but I think overall this is a huge improvement for the game. And I mean, I very rarely disagree with the decisions that Netmarble makes, and this was one of the first times which I was vehemently against what they were doing. I feel like this kind of comes to an even ground there. But that's it for me, guys. I have an Agent Callus game. I have an Agent Callus video recorded. I might post it tonight too, along with this video. Who knows? But anyways, guys, that's it for me. Malo, aupito. Thanks for watching, and peace. I'm out of here.